But what do you think about potentially like a fixer-upper?
At first, I wasn't completely down because in my head, I was like, man, I can't take anything else on. I just want to get it as is. But now, the more we've been looking, and the fact that we could really make it into our own detailed of designing everything how we'd want to do it, I'm definitely open. And I've seen a lot of interesting properties that have opened my mind to that. Because what's really cool is you and your dad would do it, correct? Mm-hmm. You really think you would do it.
100%.
And
I know how to do it as long as I'm told and shown what to do. Yeah, like as soon as I learn, like, hey, this is how you cut and put the floor in, I'll be like, oh, okay, great. Or this is how you do this. Like, I can do it.
I can just see you and your dad doing it, though, and you getting pissed off and him getting pissed off.
Oh, yeah.
When the two of you get mad, like when you guys were doing, remember that big portrait I had of all the flowers?
Putting the canvas on the picture frame?
Yeah, what's that called? Yeah, I don't even know any of that. But you guys did it together. I think that was during Christmas, right? Mm-hmm. But you guys were fighting about something when you were doing it. And your dad's like, come on, hold that down over there. And you're like, I know this over here. You guys, it's just comedy. It's so funny to watch.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun to do a project with my dad and learn the skills to freshen up in the future. Because if we're going to do real estate investing sometime in our future, to know what it takes. Because even now, if we were to hire somebody to do like marketing and ads for us, we would know what they're charging us based on, or if someone's going to edit. Mm-hmm. I was like, I know how long this takes or what it would be, so I have an understanding. So I think it'd be nice to kind of do it. But then also, if you do it right, we're going to make money because the equity of the house is going to go up.
Yep.
And that happens even if you hire someone. I think if there's a fixer-upper that you buy at a good price, you hire someone and you pay them for the labor. Mm-hmm. When they're done, sometimes the house is worth $20,000 more, and you have an extra $20,000 in equity.
Right.
If me and my dad do it for free, not only are we going to get the $20,000 in equity, but we're going to save the $20,000 in labor. So after a month, we might put down $10,000, $20,000, and then it might be worth $40,000 more when we're done.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, now you got about $50,000, $60,000 equity in the property.
I think the biggest turnoff for me when we first were talking about seller-uppers, like fixer-uppers, seller-uppers, fixer-uppers, years ago was you were like, oh yeah, we'll do that. My dad and I will do it, but then we'll turn around and just sell it, make the commission, which I get. But I feel for me, I really want roots somewhere, which obviously we would. You've never talked about it this go around, but when we first talked about it, it makes sense. I mean, why not? And what's interesting now is Florida is very much a seller's market, so.
Yeah, we'll see. And then when my dad's here, I want to go look at a few places because if we can get into one, I think it'd be great. It'd be a fun project to do, and I want to find an area because it doesn't have to be like a dream house. It's just got to be really nice for like a handful of years, and then once we make some more money and we want to get like a bigger house or like a dream house or whatever we want to do, I want the house to be in a location that we can Airbnb it or rent it out and it's desirable. Mm-hmm. That's what I think the problem in Claremont also is. But if you're here in Reunion, that's all these properties are Airbnbs.
Well, but there's that one that we saw. I'm waiting for him to email me back. It definitely is a fixer-upper, but it's in this community. So it's
walking distance.
Yeah, it's like
right by the hotel.
Really nice. So I'm curious to see that inside. But I guess if you're fixing it up, I mean, as long as the bones are good.
Yeah, there's some that the bones, unless you're gonna start putting beams and like destroy them, you might as well build a house.
Yeah.
There's some that are just they're just like, this sucks. But this one that we were looking at today that we saw, it's just open. There's only one wall that needs knocked down, the rest, and then some additions, but it's all like fun stuff. It's easy. You don't need like a new kitchen. It needs some upgrades in the bathrooms. But if you need to gut the whole thing, that's when things can go wrong. But if you do a good inspection and everything looks good and there's no major like roofing or electrical problems or anything done incorrectly. But I think that one's not too old. But I bet you it's from the 70s or 80s.
Could be.
It's old. But it's just all cosmetic stuff. It's got a pool. It's got great bushes and like little palm trees around it. So we're gonna take a look at that and then and just try to make that move. But but we're also taking our time too. Like we're here till November 30th, and I think if we ever needed to, we could ask them to leave early if we found something, and they
Sure.
wouldn't penalize us. They're pretty cool about all that stuff.
They've been lovely.
But we do have the time. But yeah, I think
We'll
it's
see.
gonna be
I
good.
think whatever is meant to be will be, and I think the best situation is that we continue to keep looking, keeping our minds open, and we'll find the right fit when we're meant to find it.